Good morning, YouTubians. It's Chemist Ghost. It's Monday, the 21st of August. It is a Blu-ray release day. Now, before I head to HMV and grab my morning coffee, I just want to say a happy birthday to Les, one of my viewers, turning 71 today. Hope you have a great day, Les. Now, there's quite a few titles out, but I'm only after one. But I also have a box of films from Big Pauly to show you as well. So stick around to the conclusion, and I'll show you what those are. So let's chitty chat, let's head up to HMV and see what's on the shelves this morning. Cheers. So HMV are advertising a pre-order of an exclusive steelbook of The Blue Beetle, a film I'm going to watch this evening at the cinema with my wife. But let's see which t-shirts made the grade is on display on the HMV mannequin. Ooh, it's Cosmo again. Nice. Okay, so there's a few options on the new 4K Bloodsport movie for sale, and this is the first one. It's a limited edition media book. It's a 2-disc set, priced at $32.99. It's about the size of a DVD case, so bear that in mind. There's a comparison right there. Next one is the 4K Steelbook. It's a lovely edition, also a limited edition. This has got 2 discs, and this is £2 dear at $34.99. And then we come on to the final version, which is another 4K media book with an alternate cover image. Again, 2 discs, and this is priced at $32.99. This is a lovely edition, but if I was going to go for one of these, I would go for the Steelbook. Next is the 1979 Australian dystopian action film Mad Max. This 4K HMV exclusive Cine edition is limited to 1,500 copies, and it includes double-sided art cards and a double-sided poster. It's going to set you back $29.99. Next is the Blu-ray release of A Moment of Romance. This is a Chinese action romance from 1990, directed by Benny Chan. It's got a 4K restoration and it comes with reversible cover and a booklet. This is priced at $16.99. Next is a Sony Pictures release of Resident Evil Death Island. It's animated horror actions from this year and sees a zombie outbreak with links to Alcatraz Island. This one's got a runtime of 91 minutes and will set you back $14.99 for the Blu-ray, $9.99 for the DVD. Next is Twin Town, a dark comedy drama from 1997 set in Swansea, and it sees 2 brothers seeking revenge on their dad's behalf when he's denied compensation after an accident. Now beware, this film is not for dog lovers, and this will set you back $14.99. Next is Ancient Magus Bride, The Boy from the West, and A Night of the Blue Storm. This is season 2, it's got a runtime of 66 minutes, priced at $24.99, that is 50 pence cheaper than Amazon. Hey everybody, welcome back. So there's 5 titles to get through today, so as per usual, just going to crack straight on with it. Okay, so I received a parcel from Big Pauly during the week. He has some movies sent over to him from Imprint Films in Australia, which he reviewed on his channel, and it turns out he wasn't a big fan of these movies, which is fair. We all like different movies, that's fine. So he kindly passed them on to me, very kindly indeed. I'll put a link to Paul's channel and to Imprint Films in the description below. Please check out both. I've unboxed these, I've watched every single title to give you my thoughts on it, so here goes. Okay, first title to show you is Fear is the Key. It's an action thriller starring Barry Newman, and this was made 2 years after the film The Lawyer and 2 years before the very entertaining TV spin-off Petrocelli, in which he played the title character of Tony Petrocelli in both. Now in this, he's John Talbot. He's a man who doesn't really care for the rules, and it isn't long before he's in a Louisiana court facing jail time, where it's revealed by the judge that he's also wanted for killing a police officer. He manages to escape, taking the woman hostage, leading to a very lengthy, very good car chase. Louisiana, by the way, was the 18th state to join the Union on the 30th of April 1812. Now the woman he kidnaps is Sarah, played by Susie Kendall, ex-wife of Dudley Moore, and her father in this is an oil magnate played by Ray McNally. So, during the escape, John is overpowered by a character called Jablonski, played by Dolph Sweet, and let's just say that leads to a very big twist in the story. I'm not going to say any more than that, but I will mention also stars Ben Kingsley with hair, and John Vernon, who you may know as the mayor in the Dirty Harry films, where he's playing a key role in the film that I picked up today, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. Thoroughly enjoyed this movie. There were no weaknesses at all in the story or the acting. It's got a runtime of 1 hour 45 minutes, all but 27 seconds. Let's take a look inside. So the slip box and the cover have a different image. The image from the slip box has been put onto the disc, and a screenshot from the film has been put on the reverse of the cover. So that was Fear is the Key from 1972. Next film to show you is Hurry Sundown, a 1967 drama produced and directed by Otto Preminger, the man behind Porgy and Bess and Anatomy of a Murder. And this one stars Sir Michael Caine. God bless you, sir. He is playing Henry Warren. He's married to a rich landowner called Julianne, being played by Jane Fonda. And he's planning to sell on some of their land to a canning firm. There's only one issue though. They need to sell on the bordering lands as well, and they don't own those. Instead, they belong to two different families. One is Henry's cousins, Rad and Lou McDowell, played by John Philip Law from The Russians Are Coming, The Russians Are Coming, and Faye Dunaway. And the other landowners are Reeve Scott and his mother Rose, played by Robert Hooks and B. Richards. And these two owners don't want to sell up, but it doesn't deter Henry in any way. He tries to have Reeves arrested for illegally owning the land when his mother Rose passes away, a claim that she doesn't hold water. Speaking of water, he also tries to wash away the family's home by flooding the land with the help of the KKK. Which actually reminds me, because I listened to the audio commentary as well, that some of the extras in this film were actually KKK members. Let's circle back to Mr. Caine and his accent. Not the most convincing, it's got to be said. I think Dick Van Dyke's attempt on a Cockney accent. This is the same but in reverse. We have a Cockney here trying to do an American accent. They should have just had his character as an Englishman coming in to marry an American, or just cast an American actor. Also stars Diane Carroll as Vivian Thurlow. She becomes Reeves' partner in this. And you've got Burgess Meredith as a racist judge called Purcell. Oh, and George Kennedy as well. He's the sheriff called Coombs. And this was made the same year he made Dirty Dozen and Cool Hand Luke. This has got a runtime 2 hours, 22 minutes. Let's take a look inside. Slipbox image different to the cover. Image from the slipbox has been put onto the disc. And a snapshot from the film has been put onto the reverse of the cover. So that was Hurry Sundown from 1967. Okay, next movie Paul has sent me is Resurrection. This is a drama from 1980 and it was directed by Daniel Petrie. He's the man behind Cocoon The Return, and it stars Ellen Burstyn as Edna May. Now you're going to know Ellen. She was that mother in Requiem for a Dream, and she's also going to star in the upcoming Exorcist film. Now Edna's married to Joseph, who's being played by Jeffrey DeMunn, and you'll know him as Dale from The Walking Dead. He had that fishing cap on all the time. And at the start of the film, she buys him a brand new sports car for his birthday, and in a freak but spectacular accident, they both end up at the bottom of a cliff. Now Edna's taken to hospital. She has this near-death experiences, lots of hallucinations, whereas Joseph wasn't so lucky. He died at the scene. So now she's paralysed. She's living back with her parents, and she develops these abilities to heal the sick. Her father in this is played by Robert Blossom. He was Old Man Marley in the Home Alone films. I recognised him from his voice, not his face, oddly enough. And she first finds out about her healing gifts at a family party. She helps this child with a prolific nosebleed, much to the astonishment of the onlookers. And her abilities go from strength to strength. She actually heals herself at one point, and word soon gets out. I'm not going to say any more than that, but I will mention it also stars Sam Shepard. He's Edna's new boyfriend Cal, and he gets a little bit intense about her gifts. He says it's a gift from God and that she's the second coming of Christ. However, she keeps claiming that her powers come from love. Picture quality is a little bit grainy, almost soft, like a TV movie from the 80s. I've seen better, but then again I've seen worse as well. Story was engaging, the characters are very well drawn out. It was a very interesting and enjoyable movie, I've got to say that. It's got a runtime of 1 hour 43 minutes. Let's take a look inside. So that image on the slipbox is different to the cover. The image from the slipbox has been put onto the disc, and a screenshot from the film has been put on the reverse of the cover. So that was Resurrection from 1980. Okay, on to the last film Paul sent me, and it is I'll Sleep When I'm Dead. It's a crime drama from 2003 directed by Mike Hodges. Now he's the man behind Get Carter and Flash Gordon, and this was his last film. And it stars Clive Owen as Will Graham. He is a recluse living in a van at the edge of the woods working as a lumberjack. Will's brother Davey, played by John Rhys Meyers, he lives in London and he's a bit of a small-time drug dealer. He attends a party, sells some drugs, and he's followed home and then brutally raped by Michael McDowell's character Bode. Next morning, out of shame and disgust, he returns home and cuts his own throat in his bathtub, only for his best friend Mixter, played by Jamie Foreman, to find him. He then reaches out to Helen, who's being played by Charlotte Rampling, asking for help to find David's brother Will. Helen happens to be Will's old girlfriend. Turns out Will's got a bit of a past. Just a few years earlier, he was a gangster, and when he finds out about his brother's death, and more importantly why, he goes looking for answers and revenge. Also comes to the attention of Turner, who's a new mob boss on Will's old patch. Turner is being played by Ken Stott. You'll know him as Rebus or in the Hobbit films. Simple plot, well executed, doesn't really paint the life of crime in a good light, which is good. Oh, and Jeff Bell's also in this as well as Arnie. He's one of Will's old crew. Jeff was Fred the Head in Rock and Roller. Picture quality in this was very good, especially considered that most of it was filmed at night. This has got a runtime of 1 hour 43 minutes. Let's take a look inside. So the slipbox and the cover have a different image. Slipbox image has been put onto the disc, and a screenshot from the film has been put on the reverse of the cover. So that was I'll Sleep When I'm Dead from 2003. Next and last is a new release from today. It's called Brannigan. It's an action thriller from 1975 directed by Douglas Hickox. He's the man behind Theatre of Blood as well as Zulu Dawn. And this stars the big man himself, John Wayne, as the title character, Lieutenant James, or Jim as he's referred to in the film, Brannigan. And this was made just 4 years before John passed away of stomach cancer. In this, he's a tough Chicago police lieutenant who is sent to the UK to bring back a mobster called Ben Larkin, who's being played by John Vernon from the film I showed earlier, Fear is the Key. Jim's assigned a detective called Sergeant Jennifer Thatcher, who's basically there to babysit him, driving around. Jennifer is played by Judy Gleason, and she was only in her 20s during the making of this film. John was pushing 70, and he did a fair bit of flirting with her in this movie. Larkin gets kidnapped quite early on in the film. Jim's not only got to find him, but put up with the cultural differences, as well as the hitman being played by David Pylon, who's there following him around trying to bump him off. Jim's also got to put up with Commander Charles Swan, being played by Richard Attenborough, who is at first a pompous pain in Jim's side, but as the film progresses, he relaxes and works well with the hard-nosed lieutenant. The two, odd a couple as they are, do have very good on-screen chemistry. Now, Attenborough has previously worked with Judy Gleason before in 10 Bennington Place, where she was one of his first victims. I think she was the first victim. Very good film. Check that one out if you haven't seen it already. I won't say any more. Definitely recommend this film though. It's got a runtime of 111 minutes. Let's take a look inside. So there's an image on the disc and a 22-page booklet with the image of the bar fight on the cover. So that was Brannigan from 1975. Now, this is a new release and I did buy it from HMV this morning. However, they only had 2 copies in. Both of them were reserved, one for me, one for another customer. So they didn't have any on the shelves for me to film. Okay, just as I finished recording, this has turned up. It's on Magpie Movies. I'm going to open this during the week and watch the film before I give you my thoughts on it. So look out for this next Monday. So that was it. Before I go, a big thank you to Big Pauly for sending me those films over. I really do appreciate it, mate. You are a star. So that was it. Have you seen any of those or plan to pick them up or just want to leave a comment, and do so down below. I will read every single one and try to reply if I have the time. Give the video a thumbs up, really does help the channel, and subscribe if you haven't. It's all free, why wouldn't you? On that note, all that's left to say is thank you so much for choosing my channel today and watching my video. Take care. I'll see you all in the next one.